Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I tend to be a quick talker, so I'm gonna try to go slow, purposely really slow. So good afternoon, good morning, everybody. It is such an honor to be here today to talk to you about a very memorable time in my life, a time that helped shape who I am today and the work that I do now. That time was attending Michigan Girls State almost 10 years ago now, which was crazy when I thought about it. And as I sat down this week to write my speech, so many memories came flooding back to me. This picture was from 2016, from the very first day of Girls State. Back in 2016, I was a junior in high school, full of passion for politics and government. I had always been that student who loved discussing political issues, debating with my friends, and learning about how our country and government worked. Of course, this wasn't the coolest thing to be interested in when you're 16 and 17. And at that time, I thought I wanted to become a high school government teacher. I dreamed of teaching students about government, encouraging them to get involved, and even potentially encouraging them to go into public service. My high school counselor had told me and my best friend Devin about Girl and Boys State and encouraged us to apply. I did some research into what it was, and we both ended up applying. When I was selected to attend Girls State, I was beyond excited. It felt like the perfect chance to learn about government, meet people who shared my interests, and maybe get a glimpse of what my future could look like. My friend Devin was also selected to attend Boys State the same year. When I arrived at Michigan State University for camp, I was assigned to the city of Gregory. I was placed into the Federalist Party. My first day was a whirlwind of new faces and activities. We spent time learning about the camp's rules, getting to know each other, and participating in a bunch of icebreaker activities. I was eager to dive into the political side of things, and my excitement grew as I began to meet other girls who shared my love for politics. On the second day, an announcement was made that there would be an optional bar exam. The bar exam, I had never heard of that before. I learned that it was a test to see who would get to join the legal sector of the camp, where we would learn about the law. I didn't think much about it at first, as I was focused on the political and government side of things, and I wasn't really considering switching gears. But then something happened. That night, I walked into the dorm hallways to find that almost everybody in my city, my roommate Becca included, was studying for the bar exam. It was as if everyone had suddenly gotten this intense motivation to prepare for something super important. I remember thinking, wow, these girls are really serious about this test. I sat with them for a while, and eventually everybody disbanded and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up and had a change of heart. I thought, why not give it a try? So I decided at the last minute to take the bar exam. I had no idea what to expect, and I wasn't sure if I was ready, but I took the test anyway and went on with my day, focused on all of the other activities for my city and not really thinking about what would happen next. Then the results came in. To my complete surprise, I found out that I was one of the 25 girls who had passed the exam and was invited to join the legal side of the camp. I was actually the 24th person to be exact. It felt like a big accomplishment, but I was shocked. My city celebrated, and my roommate Becca, who had also passed the bar exam, was just as surprised as I was. I didn't plan on this shift, but I was excited about the new opportunity. Even though I was excited to join the legal side of the camp, I couldn't help but feel a little bit sad. I had worked so hard with my city, and I didn't want to leave that all behind. But as I spent some more time with the attorneys, I started to realize that this was a chance to learn something new. This picture is part of the legal sector. Justin in the front, he was one of the main attorneys that helped us learn about the law. Yes. The legal sector of Girls State introduced me to a whole new world. I met Justin, a real-life attorney, who would go on to become one of the most important mentors throughout my legal journey. Justin taught us about the basics of law, what it meant to be an attorney. We learned about trial procedures, how evidence is used in court, and how important it is to tell a good story when presenting a case. One of the most exciting parts of being on the legal side was being chosen to be the defendant in a mock murder trial. We split into teams. One group would be the prosecution, and the other, mine, would be the defense. I remember preparing for the trial, strategizing with my team, and getting ready for the big day. It was so much more complicated than I ever expected, but I loved everything about it. We even staged a fake crime during the flag ceremony. I remember mixing protein powder into one of my fellow campers' water bottles, pretending it was poison. The girl drank it and suddenly fell to the ground. It was all staged, but the other girls and the camp advisors had no idea. The announcer called out that a crime had been committed, and the whole camp was shocked. I was arrested and taken into the cafeteria as part of the process. It was both exciting and nerve-wracking. In the following days, we continued preparing for the trial. I learned about the rules of evidence, how to choose a jury, and how to build a defense. It was all hands-on and real, even though it was just a mock trial. We can go to the next one too. This is my defense team. My roommate Becca is standing next to me. She's the brunette one right behind Justin. And then we can go to the next one too. In the following days, we continued preparing for the trial. I learned about evidence, how to choose a jury, how to build a defense, and it was all hands-on and real, even though it was just a mock trial. In addition to the trial, we also visited the Capitol building, had a toga party, which we can go to the next picture too. Nice. We had a toga party, and as my city's attorney, I helped our city negotiate a deal between us and the city of Madison to share their police and fire department resources with us because we didn't have the budget for our city, which was successful, by the way. On the last day of camp, we had our trial. We can go to the next picture too. I think this one's the toga party too. Yeah. Yes, this was my my camp counselor actually. Only half of her face is in here. She was great too. This was my defense team during our trial.
Just the time in that picture. Oh, two.
On the last day of camp, we had our trial. I felt confident in my fellow attorney's ability to argue my case. When the jury found me not guilty, I felt an overwhelming sense of pride. It was an amazing feeling, and I realized that I had just discovered a new passion. I loved the law, and I loved advocating for others. After ending the trial, all of the cities got together to say their goodbyes. As 16 and 17-year-old girls, it can be hard to make friends. During this week-long camp, the bonds and connections that we made were unlike anything else. It was a very emotional goodbye, but we all stayed in touch, and we're all still friends on social media to this day.
Nice.
We can go to the next picture too. This was all of Girls State. This was the final day. And that's Justin. 2 years after Girls State, I reached out to Justin to ask if I could shadow him at his criminal defense firm in Lansing. He welcomed me with open arms. I spent a day in court. I met some of his clients. He took me to jail. I saw how he worked. He had clients in jail, yeah, he took me. He's like, let's go to Lansing County Jail. And I was like, okay. That experience solidified my decision. I knew I wanted to go to law school. I wanted to help people who didn't have the resources to help themselves. I graduated from Oakland Community College with my associate's degree, and then I earned my bachelor's degree in political science from Wayne State. I graduated from Wayne State with a bachelor's degree focusing on law, ethics, and justice. From there, I attended the University of Detroit Mercy School of Law, where I began my journey towards becoming an attorney. We can go to the next one too. At first, when I first started law school, I was set on doing criminal defense, thinking back to my time at Girls State and how much I wanted to fight for those who couldn't afford a lawyer. But during my second year, I learned about the Veterans Law Clinic that Detroit Mercy offered. It's the only law school in Michigan that offers this type of clinic. I was waitlisted for the criminal defense law clinic because there was too many people that wanted to sign up. I received an email from the clinic director for the Veterans Law Clinic saying that nobody had signed up and they wouldn't be able to run the clinic without volunteers. So during my second year, when I learned about this and that nobody had signed up, I was shocked. Here was my chance to help veterans, something that meant a lot to me personally because of my family's military background. My grandpa served in Vietnam, and I have cousins who served in Afghanistan and who are still active duty. I couldn't believe that nobody had signed up for this clinic to help veterans, so I knew I had to, and I knew it was the right choice for me. In the Veterans Law Clinic, I worked with veterans who had been denied benefits that they deserve. I had 3 clients who, for the purpose of this speech, I'm going to change their names. I had Richard, who had hurt his knee in the Army and was denied benefits after years and years of fighting. Sarah, who had been sexually assaulted during her military service and was denied benefits for PTSD. And Craig, who had a traumatic brain injury from a car accident during his time in the military. While I was in the clinic, I had the opportunity to represent Richard in a hearing in front of a veterans law judge at the Board of Veterans Appeals. Richard had waited 4 years for this hearing. I worked on their cases the whole semester, and while the time was short, I felt very connected with my clients and with this field of law. After my time in the clinic, I went on to finish up law school and begin studying for the real bar exam. and I also started looking for a post-grad job. I interviewed at a couple places and ended up accepting a job at a big insurance defense firm in Metro Detroit. I was starting, I lost my place, give me 1 second. However, as the days and weeks of studying passed, I kept thinking about this job and the work I would be doing. I started to get less and less excited about taking and passing the bar and beginning my career, knowing I would be defending big insurance companies, and I would always think back to my why. I wanted to help people who couldn't help themselves and didn't have access to resources that they so desperately needed. I started looking around to see what other jobs were available. I was searching through Indeed when I saw an opening at Disability Law Group for a veterans law attorney. I looked into the firm a little bit and I knew right away that it was the perfect fit. I applied, I got the job, I passed the bar, and I started my career in veterans law. About a year ago, I received an email from Richard, which he had sent to my old school email, which I had just so happened to log into after a couple years of being out of law school. Actually, it was a year and a half. It had taken a couple years to get a decision from the hearing that we held, but he had been granted a 20% disability rating for his knee, paid back to 2001, which had changed his life. He had received around $50,000 in retroactive benefits, which allowed him to stop sleeping in his car and get his life back together. Richard and I reconnected after that email, and today I'm still working on his case. And when I wrote this, I said I was helping him fight for the full benefits that he deserved, but as of yesterday morning, he's now 100% permanent and total. I got to give him a call yesterday and let him know, and he instantly started crying on the phone. He was so excited. We have been working together for almost 5 years now, and he's been fighting since 2001 to get his VA disability. So it was a great day yesterday, and I was so excited to call him, and even more excited to share that with you guys, because even when I wrote this, I was gonna say, we're still working and fighting, but as of yesterday, his fight is over, and he's now 100% permanent and total. And besides my work with Richard, I have many other clients. As a veterans law attorney, I specialize in legal matters related to veterans and their benefits, helping them navigate the complex system of services provided by the VA and other organizations. I assist veterans in filing for VA disability, including compensation for injuries or illness they incurred due to their military service, and I represent them when their claims are denied in front of the Board of Veterans Appeals. I guide individuals through accessing healthcare services, applying for pension benefits, and advising family members on how to obtain survivor's benefits after the death of a veteran in the family. And although I specifically specialize in VA, my firm offers other services, including Social Security, disability, and personal injury. My firm this year, for the first time, has also sponsored a young woman from Troy High School to attend Girls State 2025. I'm so grateful to have found a firm whose mission and purpose align so closely with my own. And we can go to the next slide too. This picture is me when I had extensions. I know my hair is shorter now, I took them out. And then this picture here is the two of the three owners of my firm on either side of me, Erica Riggs and Mandy Kelly, and then one of the other VA disability attorneys, her name is Bridget. And our firm is 95% women. We have a couple amazing men as well, but we are a woman-led law firm, and it's an amazing place to work. And then we can go to the next slide as well. This is our amazing team of attorneys. It's mostly women, but we have some great men too. And then we can go to the next one. Girls State taught me that sometimes the most unexpected opportunities can lead to the most rewarding paths. If there's one thing that I can leave you with today, it's to always embrace new challenges, because you never know where they might lead you. And then I also just wanted to announce that my firm holds an annual free legal aid and resource fair every year. I don't know where everybody's from, but my firm's based in Troy. We hold it at the Troy Community Center, and it's free and open to the public. We have areas of law that we have other firms come in, and they specialize in Social Security, disability, veterans benefits, personal injury, auto accidents, landlord-tenant law, family law, immigration, employment law, criminal record expungement, and estate planning, trusts, wills, all of those things. Everything's free. So, if you have anybody interested in the area or you want to make the trip down, it's amazing. We also offer, I'm just looking at what's on here because they made this very specifically for us. We offer legal advice, healthcare screenings, haircuts, community resources, kids crafts, food and drinks, giveaways, and more. And then if we want to scroll down. I have 2 barcodes on here. We did barcodes instead of flyers. So if you're interested in wanting to come and be a vendor, we have booths that you can set up. So that's a vendor QR code, and then there's also a QR code for general information about my firm, about our legal aid and resource fair, and all the other information that you could wonder. And I also have personal business cards outside on the table if anybody's interested. And before I went to Girls State, I didn't know what the bar was. I have no attorneys in my family. It was never even on my radar. I would have never found this career path without Girls State, without Justin. So the people that are going to Girls State, the other girls, the people that are working there, from the camp counselors to the attorneys, they all make huge differences in our lives for the delegates that go. And even one of my city mates that I went to Girls State with, she's one of my clients at work because she went into the military. So you make lifelong connections. It's such an amazing place. I talk very fondly of it. My husband's right here. He's probably heard this story about 18 million times because I tell everybody I know about Girls State. And yeah, thank you guys so much for allowing me to come speak. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them as well. I think I did.
We gave her a new Girl State pen, an auxiliary pen, and a Girl State ink pen. So our speaker gets.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, and I'll be here for a little bit longer if anybody has any questions or wants to talk to me about anything at all. I'd love to meet you and get to know you. So thank you so much. Or did you have a question?
I don't have a question. I just want to say this was a wonderful presentation.
Oh, thank you so much.
And it's so great to see how successful somebody who went to Girls State is. We don't get to see this very much on this side. And I know that's such a great program, and it was really great to hear from you.
Oh, well, thank you so much.